Peace, love, and light to you all. There you go. You already know. Ah!
Yeah, right. I might just have to hold it with my feet.
You gonna hold it with your feet now? All right, come on into the room. Peace reflections. Yep. Let's see. Oh, we look so beautiful. I don't know, love.
Technical difficulties.
It was just doing okay. I think it's, yeah.
Sun's hitting. And it's behind the cloud.
Happy people. Peace, loves. Oh, wow. 18 people already now. All right. All right. We're not going to mess with this for so long. Come on, Spirit. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Come on into the room, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. We have a topic of discussion. Came into my mind this rising about the importance of manifesting with a partner, whether it was regardless if you're in a relationship or you're in a friendship, a group of people, partnership. We're gonna come to with the experience of a partnership, as in soulmate, soulship, as in we're together. So the importance of manifesting together. Now we had to realize and come to a conclusion that we all have EMFs, and I'm just going to say this is a reflected light from Master Teacher Yoda Christ. He talked about EMFs, and EMFs are electromagnetic fields, right? So it's basically your vibrational frequency. It's basically your energy, you know what I'm saying? So when you come together, when you're by yourself, you have your own EMF. But when you come together with somebody, now you're including that person inside your EMF and vice versa. So it's good to be on one accord when manifesting. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be... Oh, you're so cute. Look at this.
Someone said, who's this?
This is my partner. This is my direct. This is Meek. So it's good to be on one accord and be on the same wavelength, and be on with the same mission, the same mindset as your partner when manifesting, because there can be a disturbance in the force. There can be some disturbances and blockages if you're not on the same accord. And I would love to express this and also just emphasize this, because there's many people that's in partnerships that are not for each other in the spiritual realm. It's not for each other in their mission and what their purpose is, and that's not okay. Because when you come together with somebody and you're also creating, we're in a state of creating, we're in a state of when you're intercoursing, when you're having sex with them, and their dreams are different from your dreams, but at the same time they're not for you. They're against you. They don't want you to do certain things. So now they have doubts about your dreams and everything, your goals, your aspirations, and you mix with them, and you're constantly around their EMF. You're constantly in their wave field. You're constantly picking up on their thoughts because you're in the same space. You're in the same facility. It can cause doubts on your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, and especially when you're having sex. Like, you can manifest when you have sex.
Exchange, sacred energy exchange, just to bring clarity.
Sacred energy exchange, when you're having that kind of exchange, and you're and that's a powerful creation, manifestation force. That's a powerful energy. You're able to create what you don't want if they're not up to par of what you do want, if they don't agree with what you do want. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say this because, I've seen it many times that, people want to do certain things with their lives and their partner don't agree with it. And they're actually wondering why their lives are going this way, or why they feel like their life is not going the way they want it to go, but it's exactly how their partner wanted to go. It's because you guys are not on the same wavelength. You guys are not on the same accord. You're not on the same frequency. You're not on the same thought, So I just want to start off with that.
And then the importance of when you are on the same thought frequency and the same, when you both have the same mission. It's strengths and numbers, you know what I'm saying? So like you were saying with the EMFs, when you have, think about it this way, if you have your own, if you're by yourself and you brought up how people can disrupt your EMF, you can disrupt your aura or your vibe towards what you're trying to manifest. If you're by yourself and you go into a public area and there's just so many people's EMFs, you know what I'm saying, you're vulnerable, but man, why are people being disrespectful? But anyways, you go into you go into a public place, right? And you're vulnerable when you're by yourself. Say if you're just trying to go do your thing solo dolo. Obviously, if you have another person with you, you're stronger. You know what I'm saying? Strength in numbers. And so, like, not even just on a physical plane aspect, but on a spiritual level. Like say if we were by ourselves and someone was saying in the chat some stupid shit, like, by herself or by myself, we could be like, oh fuck, like that could get to you, you know what I'm saying? But together, we both know what we want to do. We can accommodate for what we're lacking and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So the just strength in numbers, and that's what we want to touch on, especially when the numbers are all in tune with each other. When you guys are in tune with both you guys are in tune with what you want, and they align, and they're not going against each other, and they're not pulling away from each other. I experienced that with my past relationship. I had a thing that I wanted to do in my journey that I needed to fulfill, that the universe was calling, and it separated from. Our journey went to here, and then once I woke up, I was starting to go this way, she's starting to go this way, and I no longer could be in that relationship because, one, I was taking away from hers, and she was taking away from mine. And then I had to make room and detach from that to bring something of service to me, or that's going to benefit what I'm trying to do, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we must realize in any fractal situation. It's that saying that we all know, surround yourself with like minds. And once you do that, it only strengthens what you're trying to manifest by so much more, because this keeps popping up in my head. I always think about the analogy of dreads. Not dreads, locks. So your hair, and this goes hand in hand with your EMF. So your hair is an extension of your nervous system. It's a literal extension out. Shout out to Chief for this. It's an extension of your nervous system. So it's literally your nervous system coming out of your crown chakra and coming out of you to extend out and receive more information from your environment to feel more. So when you have, that's why it's vital to grow out your hair and let it lock up, because it gives you that and it also extends your EMF field. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it stronger. And so you can feel more, and you can take in signs and information from the environment, from the universe, and that's beneficial in terms of what you're trying to do with manifesting. You know what I'm saying? You can take in more information. And so with the hair specifically, your hair by itself, when your hair naturally wants to lock up. Your hair naturally wants to lock up like this and wants to coil up and knot up because it's strength in numbers. Your hair doesn't want to be by itself. You know what I'm saying? It naturally wouldn't. It naturally wants to come in union with other strands of hair and lock up, because when it does that, it's more conducive, and then it can emit and take more energy when it's locked up, rather than if it was just one single strand by itself. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's just something that came to me, because this is all fractal. You know what I'm saying? The truth corresponds through everything. So we can talk about hair, we can talk about people, we can talk about relationships, we can talk about partnerships, we can talk about businesses, we can talk about teams, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is just facts, strengths and numbers. You can talk about army, military. If you when you're in tune with somebody and you both have the same motive and you put that intention towards a goal, and the more people you have towards that manifestation, the stronger and the more efficient and the more better chance you have of achieving that. And you will achieve that, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you both are just on that shit.
Facts. And I want to talk about blockages, because certain things that you tell to people that you're say you have an idea and it's still a seed, because you still have to get a foundation, you still have to put that seed in the ground and allow it to manifest, allow it to grow. It's good to make sure that you're telling this to people who can actually contribute to the garden, instead of stomping on it or just watching it grow or just putting their energy into it and it doesn't need to be there. It's good to, strength is in numbers, yes, but you want to make sure that your numbers correspond. Like
quality over quantity.
Right, and it's a synchronicity, it's synced. So with that being said, for example, say that you have a dream, and you want to sing, right? And you're like, oh, I want to go sing, I want to do this, and you have some people around you that doesn't believe in your dream. They want you to go work. They want you to...
Those are weeds.
Yeah.
Those are weeds. You're a flower trying to bloom, and those are weeds around you that are taking your energy, taking your nutrients away from what you're trying to do.
Right. So I want to say this example because this really opened my eyes yesterday to this hunk of man. And this, he was really encouraging me to sing yesterday, and... I was in my mode. Sometimes I get in my mode, and I really want to do it. I told him I really want to sing. I told him I want to heal people with my voice, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." Yeah, he got mad hype off of my dream, and
it's a beautiful voice, yeah.
And it made me really open my eyes to, wow, this man is really for me, because he's like really wanting my dream to manifest, just like I want his dreams to manifest, right? So. So yesterday there was an opportunity and I wasn't about to take it, and he was just pushing me like, yo, this is an opportunity, he's been seeing it all day today, nay, and I'm just like,
I was getting tight.
Yeah. he was really passionate about me getting on stage, about my dream. He was really passionate about that, and I was just like, I don't know, man. So he was like, man, I'm about to go use the restroom, right? So after he went to go use the restroom, a person come up to me, because I already asked to sing, I already put myself out there, and it was like, nah, we're not accepting no more people today. And I was like, okay. But there was an opportunity where another artist went on stage and was like, all right, well, if anybody wants to play with us, you can play. And he took that as an opportunity for me to go up there, but I was like, nah, nigga. And he was like, all right, I knew it. I'm about to, I smell the beans burning.
Ooh.
I smell the beans burning.
Ooh. But yeah, anyway, we just had, I've been telling her she needs to emit her gift, which is singing. Like she's a phenomenal singer. Like we're gonna put our energy into this, and y'all see how far she goes with this, because she has that potential and she's gonna. But yesterday I just got a feeling. I was like, yo, you gotta start putting, like, you gotta upload a video you singing, or I know we ain't got the equipment to record like 5-star quality stuff, but like you got to work with what you got right now, you know what I'm saying? We got a phone and you got the voice. A lot of people have the equipment but they ain't got the talent, you know what I'm saying? You got the talent. Your talent makes the equipment even valuable, you know what I'm saying? So right now, work with what you got, and when you put energy into that, we'll manifest everything else that we need to push this manifestation on. So we got to take actions. You got to emit this. You got to start singing. You got to put this out, show people what you got, because this is healing voice. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so yesterday I was like, yo, Nate, you gotta sing. You gotta sing. You gotta sing. And then we got signs all throughout the day. Just like, I think like 3 different signs, like, that she has to sing. And then she came to the conclusion, like, yo, I want to take you to this open mic. I want to sing. And then, so we ended up going. And then when we got there, she was feeling kind of hesitant. I felt fear. But then there was an opportunity. We were just sitting there listening to the guy that was singing, and he was like, is there any musicians that want to come and help me out, And I heard that as an opportunity. I heard that as like, yo, Nay, like, I know you asked earlier and the guy said there's no more openings, but if you can go on stage and maybe ad-lib for this dude, then you can wedge your way into performing after him, you know what I'm saying? Because again, the horse, you can walk the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. The universe can present an opportunity, but you gotta act upon it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna give you everything. It's gonna present you the opportunity, then you gotta put in the energy. And what I said to her was our situation. Like, the universe presented us the opportunity to come together and reunite as a couple, but it wasn't like I had to put in the energy, she had to put in the energy for it to go all the way through. And that's fractal through everything too. So with this situation, it was just like, all right, Nay, like, you gotta, here's an opportunity, you gotta do it. And she was steady resisting it. And then I was starting to get tired. I was like, come on, Nay, you got the voice, you got everything you need, the universe was giving us signs all day. You even said you wanted to come to open mic to sing for me. And I was kind of hesitant on even going out because I was tired. But everything worked out. And then I was just like, all right. I was real life getting tight, bro. Like, I was just like, fuck.
And that's what you want. Oh, shit. Is it? Okay, it says low connection, so it might be chopped up a bit. Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
And you want somebody who's passionate about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, just like that.
Bro,
like,
I was getting tired. I was just like, Nay, you are killing me. I was pulling out examples like, this is fractal. Like I remember you was talking to me before I came out here. You were like, oh, I regret I had an opportunity to sing and I didn't take it. I was like, yo, this is deja vu. This is deja vu. I know you're gonna regret this later today or tomorrow or whatever. And so I got so tired at the point I was like, she was starting to piss me off just because like I knew she wanted this so bad. I know what she wanted, but she wasn't acting upon it. So I was just like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. I actually did have to go to the bathroom, but I was like, I don't wanna make her, because I know the fear. You know what I'm saying? When you have fear, it's not a good thing to make people feel bad for being fearful, because it's a natural feeling. So I was like, I gotta step away because I might disrespect it.
And he took that really good. I didn't even notice you was mad. Like, you were just like. And then he said, I gotta go use the restroom. So I felt him walk away, man.
And so I went to the bathroom.
And then when he went to the bathroom, literally like a second or two, like after he's out of my sight, the guy who runs the thing, he comes up to me. He was like, the last actor didn't come. Do you want to take that spot? And I'm just like, he's like, do you want to sing? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, wow, like. I wasn't going to do it. I mean, I was going to do it. I really wanted to, but my fear for energy or whatever like that was keeping me resistant. But my nigga right here put the energy out there to be like, yo, she's singing tonight, all right? And he kept saying that, he was like, yeah, she's going to sing. Even to my other friends that ended up being there too. He was like, yeah, she's going to sing. She's going to sing. And he kept, pushing me, which led to the manifestation.
You sweating too big.
I'm sweating? I'm thankful. Which led to the manifestation of reflections and aspects of self coming up with the opportunity. This is why manifesting with a partner is very, very important.
Because she would have just, in this situation, you know what I'm saying? You picked me up in times too. Mm-hmm. But like, it's the balance. You guys can balance each other out. When you're not feeling the confidence or you're not feeling up to par, your teammate or your companion or whatever can pick up your slack. That's what the team's for.
Right.
And it's funny because once I walked away, I was just like, I had a feeling inside of me. I was just like, I had a feeling like it was either hope or just like I knew, just like she's gonna be on stage when I get back. She's gonna be at least putting in. I thought like I said enough for you to just convict you, just be like, fuck, all right, he's right. So I thought like you were gonna go up. That's what I was envisioning. You were gonna go up and just be like, yo, like. But then, and that's exactly why it didn't go that exact way. Like she said, the guy came to her, but like when I came back, she was just like on stage, and I was just like, hey.
And that was a beautiful experience, and that led me to push forward into my purpose even more. It allowed me to realize and remember why I loved singing. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a partner there to push me forward, and actually was for the manifestation of our dreams, not just my dreams, but our dreams. And it made me really, really happy, and stay tuned for the video. Yeah, I'm gonna put that up on Facebook. I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and everybody's gonna be able to see that video.
Bruh, just how everything worked out. Like, yesterday was a crazy day for us in terms of handling some personal issues between each other.
Right.
And then there was tension, there was a void, and that also had to do with me getting tight about the whole her not singing. We were just handling our demons, and
ooh, can I say something? It's good to release blockages. Because remember yesterday we released a whole lot of blockages for our
that's
manifestation.
what we're doing, right?
So we was being real with each other. We came to each other with our emotions and how we felt.
Vulnerable.
We was being vulnerable with each other, and those that release a lot, you know, so we can allow the flow of, you know, abundance, and allow the flow of the manifestations to come in. Because if you have a block with your partner, and it's like you need to say something, or you need to speak something, get off something off your chest and everything, but you keep that block there, it's like it's like everything is fractal. So you're blocking a manifestation. You're blocking something, you know, because you're blocking
this relationship.
Right, and love flows, you know, love is understanding, and love attracts. So understanding attracts, you know. So when we got understanding between ourselves about the situation and what we was going through and everything like that, we was able to manifest a beautiful situation in our situation.
Right, and it was just also the balance, like the balance of, because when you do get vulnerable, there's that fear and that. Like, when you're vulnerable, the vulnerable is the confusion. When you release those blockages, the blockages are the confusion. We say love is understanding. The blockages, the fear, and all those hiccups within the flow of energy are the confusion. That's why it's not love, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not understanding each other to let this shit flow like love does, like understanding. So when you bring up those blockages, it's kind of like that like, emotions can fluctuate, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so we're feeling that all day yesterday. And our situation was our reality was reflecting that. We were handling we got into a motorcycle accident, nothing crazy on her birthday, nothing crazy, like nobody got hurt, and it was just,
we didn't get hurt.
We didn't get hurt. I mean, the other guys just got scrapes. I honestly think they were being dramatic.
Right.
But yeah, it was basically just money issues, but we're abundant, so
right.
We had to pay for the bike. We had to pay some fines because I didn't turn on my blinker. But anyway, that whole complication, that hiccup within our reality, was a physical manifestation of the hiccups that were happening between our thing. Because again, everything's fractal. Right. So we're literally handling that hiccup in our reality simultaneously while we're handling our shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're handling that stuff at the police station where we're handling the accident thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We handled our blockages within our relationship from within and through this connection at the police station while we're handling that hiccup in our physical reality. And then once
yeah, I know, right?
Once we healed the physical, I mean, once we healed this, everything healed. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one. Then it was just everything was healing at the same time, and like it was crazy. And then what I was saying originally is the balance. So again, we had that misunderstanding, and then at the end of the day, it balanced out with this balance. And I wanna put this out there. I wanna note this. After we released our blockages, I was studying meditation. I was just like, cause when you're vulnerable, those are the things you don't want to address, you know what I'm saying? And so I addressed them. We came to terms with each other, and we were just 100% vulnerable. We released everything that we had been feeling that we didn't want to express just because we were so high on this communion, and just like, I'm just gonna say it just because what happened was, as you guys know, we came into this relationship so fast. Like, we've been manifesting each other for a while, but once we were presented to each other, we vibrated to each other and were magnetically pulled to each other so quick. And so 6 days, I mean, we were talking for like a week or two. Then once we made the decision to commit, we vibrated to each other in 6 days. And so that happened so quick. And so in that quick process, I personally speaking, and she mirrors me, we actually ignored some things because we're so focused on this. So with me, I was ignoring how I felt. Like we were saying before, we were talking to other people prior to this, and I dumb quick hopped out of that because this felt so real. But I didn't let my heart heal from that. You know what I'm saying? And so, but this had so much energy and so much strength that it was making up for that hurt at the time being. But as soon as this high feeling, like, it was starting to plateau, like that stuff came back. You know what I'm saying? I had to
it was like it was right here and we was right here, but then when we started going here, it started,
because nothing stays all the way up. Butterflies. And so like That's what was happening yesterday. She was feeling that on her side with her subjective situation. I was feeling that. I came off of another thing I was experiencing. I came off a 5-year relationship, like 5-6 months ago or something like that. And so 5-6 months ago, put it on the scale, 5 years to 4 to 6 months, whatever. Like, I'm still healing from that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I put all those feelings from my past relationships to the side because this was so strong. And then once this was like once it started to level out and we started to realize like, yo, this is real, like we got out of that euphoric. I'm still euphoric. We're still euphoric, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was like you had to address the things that you resisted.
Ignored.
You know, what you resist will persist. And until we heal that, you know, it will try to manifest in our relationship. And we wasn't having that.
Right. And so and that's why we got into that accident. That's why, because we, as dope as this has been and how amazing as this has been, that those underlying demons that we were ignoring, sweeping under the rug, were still there. And we felt them.
Yeah.
There were some times we were like we felt like a void between each other because we weren't addressing how we truly felt. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I remember when we had...
Slow.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all can hear us.
They probably can, but...
Low network connection, so we just don't want to have to repeat ourselves. Comment if you can hear us right now.
The comments will slow down too when that happens.
You're right.
Oh, peace. Grand rising. What was that?
A burp.
That was a burp?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was your stomach, yo.
Nah. I mean, it was kind of like a stomach bubble.
Not the beans are burnt.
They're not even edible?
I mean, I think so. I was going to make them into soup anyway, but you might have that burnt bean taste.
Oh, that's fine. It's all good.
Alright, so I feel like they can still see us, they can still hear us. There you go.
There we go. Alright. So we were saying, so we had those blockages, released those blockages. The blockages were us being...
and we can feel those things.
Yes. Oh, that's what we were talking about. We were feeling it, but we weren't addressing it. And then it got too... we're both very... Alright, we good now?
Yeah, we're good now. You guys are beautiful together. Oh, nah.
I'm thankful.
Can anybody hear us? And share this video, please. Thank you. Can everybody see us, hear us clearly? Let us know.
And so, we felt it, and we both, she's very intuitive, and she can feel that shit. And then I'm also a water sign. I'm a Cancer, so I can feel that shit too. And I don't like lying to myself. We don't like that feeling. Nobody likes that feeling.
Right. He knows when something's wrong with me, and I know when something wrong with me. We're not wrong, but there's something on
Different.
our mind, and like in the energy, like okay, like what we have to address. And I remember we got to the place with the motorbike place, and a thought just popped up to my head. I'm like, is there some healing that you still need to do with your ex and everything? And he was like, not that I can think about right now, but it was later on.
I was hesitant. I knew what I wanted to say.
Next day that you addressed it, and we addressed it, and it's very important to do these things, address what's blocking, because when you release those blockages, the universe can help flow into our lives, help the flow continuously happen, and help us to manifest things that we actually want. So we actually ended up manifesting a number that was reasonable for the accident. You know what I'm saying? And
that was
dope.
That was
dope.
Let me just say, it was a moped, so it's like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that expensive, but like in our situation that we're in at the time that we were in, it was just perfect. It was supposed to be 25,000 baht, which comes out to around like 600-700.
Yeah, like 700.
And then the police and the people negotiated with the motorbike company to knock it down to 10,000 baht, which is only like 300 bucks, which we had, and it was just like,
that was dope, because literally during that whole thing, like, I had a set number in my head, and it's like the universe was like saying, have this number in your head. And this is everything is fractal. Like, I'm watching you, I'm watching the police officers and everything like that, and the universe said 10,000 baht. Think about 10,000 baht and manifest that while they're having this conversation. So me being the visionary, and I really want to stress this out, especially in partnerships. I'm a sole believer that we're all visionaries, but because of the woman's keen connection to source and spirit, and like to create, you know, and I feel like we're the visionaries, and the men makes it happen. You know, they're the strength, they're the power, they're the movement. Like, just like how I can envision myself on stage, but he's the one putting forward the energy, like, yo, go do it, pushing me towards it. And I feel like that's a very powerful thing to know, that women, you can visualize things for your man. And especially if you're doubting your man, you can visualize that for him too. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit. Like, literally, if you feel like, oh, you ain't shit, nigga. Like, I see it when I believe it when I see it. You gotta see it first. You know what I'm saying? So literally, I'm seeing the number 10,000 by my mind, and I'm thinking about 10,000. Focus on that while they're all having this conversation. And the guy over there starts singing, right? Literally, he starts singing. So I took that as a sign for me to start singing. I'm like, I gotta start singing.
That's another sign when I told you to sing this that yesterday morning. I was like, you gotta start singing.
Right.
That was one of the signs.
Exactly. And I looked at him, and he looked back at me, and I'm like, all right, that's a sign to start singing. So I started singing, you know, pushing the manifestation forward and everything like that. And then I was like, did it work? And I looked at everybody. Everybody nodded, like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay. So out of nowhere, the guy was like, he wrote down the 10,000, and he circled that, and he was like, okay, 10,000 baht. And I'm just like, what?
We got to note, she wasn't, like, I was at the desk.
Right.
It was me. Here's the desk. I was sitting in front of the desk, and the other guy was sitting in front of the desk, the motorbike guy that was negotiating the price, and then the officer was on the other side of the table. Nay was behind me. She couldn't see the paper or what was, because they were pricing it all out. She couldn't see anything. So what she just explained was just like, she was just looking around, just taking in the signs and reacting and not knowing the price. I was watching. I didn't know she was like doing all that while it was happening, but I was just like, I seen them write 25,000 baht, and I was like, oh shit! And then they repriced everything out, and then they cut us a deal for real. But basically, why we brought this up was because of one, the manifestation power of together, that resulted in that. We were positive through the whole entire thing.
Positive.
Like, we were laughing.
And just imagine if we didn't solve our issues.
Yes.
Like, we got to the police station irritated at each other because of a conversation previous, and then
we rushed.
We was irritated, and then the universe was like, 2 o'clock, handle your issues right now. Literally, like, that's how exactly it happened. Like, we were supposed to meet at the police station at 1. We was irritated, we rushed, we was like, you know, talking and having this misunderstanding. And then we got to the police station, and it was like, nope, come back at 2.
With your problems.
Yeah, and the universe is like, nah, you're not about to go into this manifestation, into this situation with that energy.
Yeah,
because
crazy.
You guys have to release those blockages, release that misunderstanding, release that negativity for you to manifest a positive result. Boom.
We're literally connecting the dots right now. And so, like, once we handled that, like, we handled our blockages before we even came to that 10,000 agreement. We were just like, yo, we got everything out of the way of how we felt, and then literally all that stuff just happened, like, and then after, when we left the police station, we were just so happy we got it done, and then we ate dinner. And we got bracelets.
And these bracelets were definitely what we were manifesting. I was manifesting.
Yo. Okay, this is another thing. So we're just talking about manifesting. We were talking about so at the time when we were going through I gotta hold my legs.
No.
At the time when we were going through the situation with the motorbike and all that, we were thinking like, yo, like, now what we just explained to you, broke it down, we just articulated that now. Like, we didn't think about that we were just articulating, like, this is why it happened, this was fractal for that. But at the time when we were going through it, we were like, yo, this is just a test for us. And this still holds true. Like, because I was just like, yo, Nay, I still got some U.S. cash that we should not touch. And then the universe was just like, nah, nigga, you touching that shit. Don't be attached to nothing. So we had to tap into that. But anyways, so at the time we were just saying like, yo, this is the universe telling us like, yo, we're getting stagnant. We need to start really, we know what we want to manifest, and we know we need money to do that. So we need to start putting effort, energy in towards manifesting our you want to get the charger?
I'll get the charger.
We have to start putting our energy in towards manifesting money, so we can get this on road. And so like this whole motorbike thing, like I said, no one really got hurt. It was just the bikes and just a monetary expense. So this was just the universe like checking us, like, yo, now y'all out some money. Now you got to start focusing on money. You know what I'm saying? And so like we were like, all right, yeah, like time to lock in. I'm here. We're both here. We're together. Great. We're having so much fun. We had an amazing time. But now it's time to lock in. Time to work. Time to focus. You know what I'm saying? And so that's our next thing. We going in.
So like, that's why this video was just on divine timing, because it's time to, you know, when we're talking about. Let me see if it's charging.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. When we're talking about, it's time to, like, when you're manifesting with your partner and how the importance of that, when two or more in the midst. Everybody knows that from church. Everybody knows from the Bible. When two or more in the midst, in prayer, it makes something powerful.
Sports teams, whatever.
Anything. So, and we've seen that happen throughout our journey completely. You know, when we sit here and manifest together, we write shit down, and we go into prayer. We pray on it, sending our universal vibrations out, our frequency, and then we go into meditation. We start visualizing, and he told me that he sees things really clear. You know, when
the thing we're trying to manifest, I ain't never seen anything so clear yet. Real life, like what we're trying to manifest, we ain't gonna express
not
that.
Trying, but we are manifesting.
We are manifesting, and we already manifested it.
Right. Ooh.
And so, but we wrote everything we want down, and everything, and then we were like, all right, we prayed on it. Then we laid down and just visualized it, and yo, it was that visualization was so clear. I seen every little thing from. I ain't gonna leak it yet, but like, and so right when I snapped out of it, I was like, give me a pen, give me a piece of paper.
And I'm truly amazed at what he sketched out.
And I just seen it, and like I'm new to this like consciously manifesting thing, so but like that was the clearest thing I've ever seen, and I still see. I did it yesterday. I redrew the shit again. I'm gonna redraw it again today, and I'm just gonna keep getting more and more in depth. But anyways, back to these. So we're on the money ting, right? We're in the money ting. Not even just money, just like
love.
Just because money's just a tool. We know we're abundant, but the thing, we brought up money yesterday, and then yesterday we went to the food mart, which is in Tongsala, which is just like this marketplace where a lot of vendors sell their foods and jewelry and stuff like that. And we were going to get papaya salad, and we walked past this bracelet place that sells all this stuff, all this rock jewelry.
Mind you, I walked past this place many times, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get bracelets when he get here.
And so she said that, and so I was just like, word, like, and when she first said that, she's like, yo, I want to get bracelets eventually. Like, we don't got to get them now, and I was just like, yeah, we ain't gonna get them now, just cause we just spent some money, and now we got to start saving, da da da. And but anyways, so we got our papaya salad, and then after she was giving the plates back to the vendor that we got it from, and then I threw away the cups from our smoothies, and something attracted me back to that bracelet stand. And at that moment, I didn't care about money. You know what I'm saying? It was just like something, I was just interested. You know what I'm saying? So I went over there, and I was looking at the bracelets, and then she came over, and she was just like, oh, you want them? Da, da, da. And I was just like, it's up to you. Like, do you think we can, I don't want to say afford. We can afford anything.
Yeah, we can afford anything. But that's the lesson that we. I guess,
and then that kid.
And then that kid. Like this is how my.
Are you talking about the little white kid?
Yeah, the he's not white. He's you talking about the white kid. He's Caucasian. He came in and he was like, oh, how much? Like literally, like it was like a sign from the universe saying, buy that shit.
Yeah, and this little kid, this child was like, probably like 8.
Yeah.
8. He was young, and this kid was like. He was like talking to the vendor. He had no parents around him. He was just by himself. And just a Caucasian kid talking to a Thai person. He was just like, how much for this? And then
he's negotiating with literally.
And then the guy was like 900 baht, and he was just like, or whatever the amount was. He was just like, nah, nope, 200. And I was just like, yo, this kid's speaking with some authority, and
Conviction.
he's young, and I was just like, yo, I admire that.
And I feel like that's what the universe is telling us to do.
Yeah,
literally.
And then once the guy, we asked how much the bracelets were, we were just like, nah, like, we're gonna do this. So, like, we're trying to come to a fair price where we're both getting, they were getting a fair price and we were getting a fair price. And then we came to a number which was like 700.
It was 800
baht.
Because he was like, and that's
which
another
is like
thing.
15 bucks.
And the number 800 came up in my mind before
Abundance.
anything.
8
Literally.
is abundance.
And I was just like, he was like, we was like thinking, because he was trying to overprice, and we was like, we don't know.
Saying like 15 or like 1200.
And we was like, we don't know. And then he was like, no, I can negotiate. And he literally was adamant on negotiating the price with us. So I was like, okay, fine. So I put the number in. He was like, okay, that's cool. I was like, okay, that's great. We have that. Let's just make it. And then we went ahead and read what the jade mean, right?
Oh, before you say that, I want to say this, because prior to even that, like, once we bought them, the reason why I was happy when we bought them was just because, like, we got through what we got through that day, and I was like, all right, this is a union, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is our thing right here. And so that's why I was happy. Like, that's why I wanted them. And I fuck with it. It's dope. It's cool. And green's one of my favorite colors. But then she shows me what it means, and what did it mean?
It means a jade is creativity, is luck, is love, is abundance. So it said so many other things that
like,
resonated at that moment.
It said on the sign, it's describing this is jade rock. The bracelet's made out of jade, and it was saying that jade, having this stone on you and with you will attract money,
right,
and love and stuff like that. And it was just like that was just I didn't realize that when we bought it. Was just like after we bought it and we got it and we committed to it, that was just confirmation, like, yo,
right.
like, shit's coming,
like when there's nothing to worry about. And also because we had that same thought about, okay, it's time to manifest money, it's time to get into manifestation mode. The universe put a symbolism of something that, and also something that will help us attract that. It's not the stone itself, is the intention, you know. And I feel like we place our intention to be straight, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's good to very much so be on the same wavelength, be on the same accord, release your blockages with your partner, talk about what you guys want, visualize together, and see that manifestation quickly arise, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we've been doing throughout our whole journey together, and it's only been about a week or two, and stuff has been beautiful, very beautiful. And so I just want to say that to our fellow reflections out there, that it's good to speak to your partner, it's good to be vulnerable, it's good to release and heal each other, but in the same sense, be on one accord of what's going on in our lives, and manifest together, and share your mission, be on the same accord with the mission, you know what I'm saying? Whether you guys have different occupations, but you come together, and it's really nice to have somebody who's also an artist, because we can come together and make art together, and it's beautiful, you know? So
yeah, I'm thankful.
I'm thankful.
One thing I wanted to touch on too. One thing I wanted to touch on too was from my past, like, in terms of.
It probably didn't froze, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just doing stuff.
Doing what it does. Alright, cool. Just like, since we're talking about manifesting together, one thing that I've gone through in my past, and when being in union with someone, is competitiveness. Like, you gotta, like she said, you gotta be on the same accord, you gotta be on the same frequency, and you gotta have the same goal, and you gotta be willing to pick up what your partner is slacking, but also be vulnerable to admit that you're slacking so you could be picked up, you know what I'm saying? But if there's that competitive energy between y'all, then that's only gonna shoot yourself in the foot. It's gonna haha, you're down, I'm up, type shit, and that's just not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And even on a team, like like I've experienced that in past relationships, and then also just like on teams, you can see that in teams. Like imagine if you was on a basketball team, and you're trying to score, and you have some like competitiveness with your teammate, but you want to outscore him. So like now he has an open shot, but you're taking it and you miss because you have your own personal intent. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that. You guys both have the same common goal to win, so you guys got to do what's best for the team, what's best for the overall, not just for your personal desires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. That's one thing you gotta consider. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, we're on the same team. I love you, bro. You my homie. Da da da. We're both gonna win. You guys both celebrate that win together, and it feels good. But if you have your own personal intent to the point where it's taking away from the team's goal, and you have that selfishness, that's gotta be resolved, addressed and resolved, and because that's again strengths in numbers. And when you have your own personal intent, that's you being solo dolo, and you could do a lot more if you were in union. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, I want to build off what you just said because that's very, very important. Like everything's fractal. So the businesses that you have, whether you come into a business with your partner or you have your own separate business, it's going to reflect. It's going to be a direct reflection of your relationship now because you're now in the same EMF field. You're now in the same vicinity. Now you came together with it and you made a contract basically in the spiritual realm, basically saying, okay, I'm going to be with him. He's going to be with me. So now we're together. So it's like if you're having relationship problems, you know, it could be reflected into your business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, so
that business is your relationship.
Exactly, because you are the business. He's the business. I'm the business.
Look at Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? His relationship is also his presidency. You know what I'm saying? Like people, you can look. I know this stuff just because I went through the whole conspiracy phase. But like you can see how a lot of people when I was waking up. This is just a rabbit hole. Should I even go down it?
Shit, I mean,
go ahead. Never mind.
No, if it's a rabbit hole, people need to go down a rabbit hole if they took the red pill. But I'm just...
No, go ahead.
I want to just emphasize this because, you know, many times, like, okay, I'm gonna say this. My former mentor, Chanel Cooper Sykes. She has a husband who also has a business, but together they combine their businesses and they make mad money together. You know what I'm saying? They make loads of, and it's because they keep their love strong. They're vulnerable with each other. They work things out. They understand the power of manifestation, but they also understand the power of love. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to connect with who you love and also be vulnerable with them and release the blockages that you have, because that in itself will reflect in your business. Like, how you not gonna speak to your partner for like some days but expect your business to go, you know, well, you know what I'm saying? It's like you guys created this together. It's like a union of one. Like you guys are separate. You guys came together and create this entity. So you guys both have to work on this entity for everything to flow. And you guys have to organize together. You guys to flow together and all these things. You know what I'm saying? People are actually out here trying to be like, oh, I make more money than you. And their relationship is like, yo, what are you doing?
This is just comical because that business is fractal for that relationship, and that relationship's fractal for you.
Right.
So love yourself.
Right.
Like, it's just
everything's fractal.
Everything just goes back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can give any download, and we can loop that shit back to just loving yourself. But not gonna do that right now. I'm just pointing that out.
Right.
But yes.
I want to know if there's any questions now. No, everybody's just taking it in. Yeah, everybody's just taking in the information. I appreciate everybody that's in the room. Shout out to everybody that's in the room. You know, shout out to everybody who just took the time to share this video, because this is something. Yeah, we don't have no questions now.
I have some questions, y'all.
If y'all have any questions
I mean, I feel like we touched on a good amount of.
Do you believe in generational curses? I feel like being cursed when it comes to relationships, because at least 3 generations before me, my elders had relationship issues like abuse and divorces. Okay, I want to touch on this. Let me build.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So everybody's all into generational curses and everything like that. All generational curses are just generational habits that are toxic. What you picked up from picked up from the previous generation before you and didn't change in your generation. So that just leads into the next one because you haven't healed the karmatic cycle.
What are the old generations now?
Like I'm talking about like, all right. For example, if I see like past lives, you talking about your parents being your past lives
type of thing. Cause you go to touch on what you. I'll touch on that.
Yeah. So I feel like generational curses. I feel like you shouldn't even. First of all, shouldn't claim the word curse. Because that's placing a spell on yourself, right? Secondly, I would like to understand, like, just we're creatures of habit, humans, and to change our reality, we change our words, we change our thoughts, our thought frequencies, and we change our actions. So if you feel as if there was bad luck and you're claiming that bad luck that you've seen in your previous generations. You've now taken up that curse, or you've now taken up that spell that's placed on that was placed on themselves because of their thought frequency, because of their thoughts, and you have taken that up. Now it's time for you to change that. It's time for you to say, all right, I'm not a victim of. I know I create my reality. I know I'm not a victim of what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? I know I have the power within myself and my reality to change things to make sure I get what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Can I touch on this now?
Go ahead.
I'm going to scrap what I was going to say before, but to prove what she's saying is epigenetics. Epigenetics, look into epigenetics. Look up Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton. He breaks down epigenetics. Epigenetics is the fact that your belief system controls your biology, but also your biology controls what's within is projected out. So it's your thoughts so if you believe into something, it's going to happen. So if someone says, an example of that is if prostate cancer runs through your family, right? And it's a general consensus in the lower self to think that, I'm going to get prostate cancer because my dad has prostate cancer, and then my grandfather has prostate cancer. The reason why your dad and your grandfather have prostate cancer is because, or the reason why your dad has prostate cancer and you believe that it runs through your family because your grandfather had it, is because, not because it's through the genes and gene oration. It's not because of that. It's because your dad picked up the same habits that your grandfather had, the thought patterns, you know what I'm saying, the habits, and that's the reason why your dad accumulated it. And the only way you're gonna get it is if you continue that thought pattern that your grandfather passed on to your dad, that your dad more than likely passed on to you, but you can break that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's one to do that is to break that spell, stop claiming it, like she said, and to educate yourself on the fact that it's not the genes, it's what you do, it's your environment, what you're exposed to. That, so for example, diabetes. Okay, my mom has diabetes, so I might get diabetes. No, you're not gonna get diabetes. What gives you diabetes is the garbage that you're putting in your body, and it's building up mucus, and it's causing a blockage in communication from your hypothalamus to your pancreas or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not the genes. It's the behavior. It's the what you're doing. It's what you're doing, because you can easily just stop feeding yourself crap. But the reason why we think it's generational is because your parents that have it raised you, and their habits were forced upon you. And so now you have the eating habits that they have. So it's going to take you to step up and be like, yo, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not going to claim this shit no more. Yo, why are we reprogramming yourself? And that's through repetition and da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's going to take some effort on your end. But then you can go even deeper and you can ask, okay, I can change that, but why was this even brought upon me? Why was I put in the situation that this idea of this generation curse or whatever was put upon me? Why was I put in this situation? Because you put yourself in it.
And
it's karma.
It was a perspective as well. Mm-hmm. You know, if people feel as if their parents or their grandparents had bad luck with relationships or like that, is because of your perspective, and then you try to put that on yourself. But you could have been like, all right, well, if you change your perspective, it's like, oh wait, they had to learn their karma, their lessons, and they probably didn't learn their lesson. That's why they kept regenerating and regenerating that. And if
But they're you.
Exactly. If you notice their flaw, not flaw, but if you notice what happened in their karmic cycle, and you're able to pinpoint what's the solution, you can therefore be the change in that generational cycle. You can, because think about it like this: when we mate with somebody and we fuse from point A, point B to point C, like make a baby and create a entity, you know, as our DNA, you know, our DNA, our memories, our it's passed on in genetics and in our DNA and everything like that. So if we make a change in how we do something, if we make a change in how we okay, say no one's in my, okay, I'm gonna make an example. No one in my family has traveled to Thailand. No one have ever traveled to this place. Now I have made a change in my genetic code to like, okay, now I have a traveling spirit. You know what I'm saying? So now I can manifest something into my child, and they will see something within me that will be like, okay, they can travel. But you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I want to also touch on this when it comes down to what he just spoke about. My grandfather passed away from prostate cancer, and I never told you that, so that's pretty cool how you did that. But I'm not gonna, and my auntie passed away from breast cancer. I'm not gonna put that on myself saying, oh, I might pass away from cancer, or I'm gonna say my family is prone to cancer because so I'm gonna have cancer. No, I understand that we're Jamaicans, and some of us we eat a lot of, you know, oxtails and curry goat and all this stuff that, you know, the meat could have had cancer on it itself, but no one knows. You know what I'm saying? The eating habits was poor. You know what I'm saying? So I know now that a disease cannot live in an alkaline body, so I'm going to alkalinize myself, therefore changing the curse, therefore changing the perspective that I can have cancer. No, I'm not getting cancer because I choose to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. And your parents being your direct past life. And I say that loosely because people will be like, oh, so I look like this in my past life, da-da-da. Your mom is the physical manifestation of your feminine, and your dad is the physical manifestation of your masculine. But so they're separated, but them together is the energy that made you who you were in your direct past life. And so like you can look at the generations and see, so what you did in your past life literally raised you into this life. That's why you came in with this program and thinking that with all this confusion. But this is the lifetime right now. All you got is the now. And this is the time to fix. Because if you don't fix your next life, because the energy cannot be created to destroy, it just can only be transferred to transform. So when you die, you transform, you're going to reap what you sow from this lifetime. That's karma. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff that like people be like, oh, well, why do I have this curse or whatever in my family? Why am I? Because you put yourself in that situation. Now this is the time, and you're doing exactly what you need to do right now is addressing it. You know what I'm saying? You're doing what you have to. You're addressing it, and now it's time to take the change. It's time to act, so this doesn't carry on to the next generation, your next lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so just do the right thing right now, and then that's just.
And don't even claim a curse.
Don't claim a curse. Don't claim a curse. You are everything you say you are, and this is crazy because like once you say what you are, the universe is gonna test you on that. So say if I'm a king, I'm the creator of my reality. I'm God. I'm this. I'm like all the things that I am. The universe is gonna put me through things to make me that. You know what I'm saying? And I am that. So I'm not gonna back down from anything the universe puts me through. I'm gonna act as a God. I'm gonna act as a king. I'm gonna act as a chief through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I can truly be that. But it goes the other way around. If you say, "Ooh, I'm this. I'm diabetic." Scratch that. I'm cancer. Scratch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, like when you say that stuff, the universe is gonna give you those symptoms and all that stuff that you are claiming, bro. Like, you really gotta know the power of your words. Like,
right.
And that's why back in the day they didn't have all these like documentations and stuff like that, they had just the word is bond, and it's
in
that
the
powerful.
beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God.
Yes.
And the Word is God.
Is God.
So
yes.
it's like, so a man, so Chanel Cooper Sykes like to say this: a woman of God is what? A woman of her word, because word is God. You know what I'm saying? So, because we create with our words. So, what is a spell and what is a curse? Let's just put it like this on opposite spectrums. We can say a spelling is putting positive words into your life, and a curse is putting negative words into your life. So saying, I'm blind, kind of scratch that, cancel that. Oh, I don't know. I have cancer. Oh, I have endometriosis. Oh, I have a disease, and oh, I was diagnosed with this, and okay, I'm canceling all that out. Like, I cancel out all those words. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not putting it on myself. I am God. I am healthy. I'm wise. I'm smart. I'm gifted. I'm talented. I am love. I'm optimum health. I have no generational curses. I don't even claim any curses. These words that's been reflected onto me, I reflect onto people, because I'm gonna say the right words into my life. Hallelujah. I'm gonna start saying the words that benefits me, and I'm gonna pray on my life, and I'm gonna pray on other people's life. I'm gonna say great words into other people's reality, because some people just know, they curse themselves. Some people just don't know how to say great things about people and about themselves. And so
that's why we say I love myself.
Right.
Because you hear that first person, you hear us say I love myself. You consciously translate it as, oh, Meek loves himself. He's narcissistic. He's an arrogant prick. Da 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 da. But that's your conscious mind. That's the frequency you're at. That's something you gotta handle. But when I say I love myself, you're hearing it. I love myself. So your brain, your subconscious is hearing literally I love myself. So every time I say I love myself, because there's no separation. When I say I love myself, you're telling yourself I love myself. So you're welcome. I love myself.
And I say I love myself. I love him, because he is me.
Everything.
And I love everything. You know, I love myself. I love this tree. I love myself. I love the sky. I love myself. I love the earth. I love myself. I love me. And I'm going to start saying that, and it's going to subconsciously program me to receive that. You know, what you subconsciously program yourself, your universe is going to give that to you, because you're run by your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? So 90% of it. So I just want to, addressing that. We went into a whole thing.
Yeah, and just to cap it off, if that interests you in any way, like any of that information we just dropped on you, look up Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton, Epigenetics. Proof. He proves it scientifically. With cells, embryonic cells, stem cells. I'll break it down because that sounds brief. So a stem cell is just a cell that you have stem cells in your body. They're just embryonic cells that are just basically like blank cells that repair. You're constantly creating. Cells are constantly dying within you and then being recreated to repair and restore things within your body. Those are stem cells. And so he had stem cells. He had one stem cell in a petri dish, and then he split that stem cell into 30,000 different cells. So all these cells came from that one cell. So they all have the same DNA, they all have the same genetic makeup, everything. So they're the same cell, and they all split from that one cell. So he has this petri dish of all these same cells. Just like how I have this one body, but they're all my cells. They all contain my DNA. So what he did was, to prove this was, there's 30,000. He took 10,000 of the cells, put them in this petri dish that was in this liquid. And then he got another 10,000 and put them in this petri dish that was in a different liquid, different solution. Then he put the other last 10,000 cells in this petri dish that was this different solution. So now he had 3 different petri dishes, each containing the same cells, just different environment, different liquid, different solution that they resided in. And again, let me note that they're all the same cells. They all have the same genetics. They were just in different environments. And so in the first petri dish, let's just say these cells created muscle tissue. In this petri dish, in the different solution, these cells created fat tissue. In this petri dish, in this solution, these cells created bone marrow. You know what I'm saying? So what that proved was, he redid this over and over and over, and he debunked the conventional science that we were taught in high schools. this like epigenetics is huge. It's breakthrough, and I was so surprised when I realized this, that not a lot of people like are on this. I mean, people are, but at the same time, I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, but basically, what it's showing is that it's not your genetics, it's not your genes, it's not that what. It's not your genetics, your genes are just your DNA is just your blueprint. It's just like the example he uses is like a blueprint to a house. This is how the house is gonna be, but you can build the house however you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could start with building the foundation first, or you can start with building this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a map, like a map. Here's a map of the states, right? And you're planning a road trip. This is just the blueprint of your road trip. You can take whatever route you want, and that's your life. And so the substances just show the different environments. It's not the genetic material. It's not the genetic makeup of the cells, because all the cells were the same. It was the environment that determined the playout of the cells. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same with us. We're cells as human beings. We're cells, and it's not the genetic makeup that determines our fate in our life. It's what we're around, what we're exposed to, and it's our environment, what we take in, our energy exchanges, what we have sex with, what we eat, who we hang out with, what we're around, how we think. You know what I'm saying? So peep that. That shit is empowering. It's getting a little hot. It's empowering as fuck, because once you realize it's all in the mind and you have total control, it's not, because basically what it is and is the way we've been taught is that like genetics, oh, my grandfather has this, so I'm gonna have this. That's playing the victim. That's you not realizing you're God. That's like saying that you have no control. That's like my genes have control of my life. Ooh, I want to do this with my life, but I can't because I'm gonna get cancer because my dad had it. Nah, you have total control. You're God, though. You're God. Like, so all that programming that we've been, that lower self shit, scrap it. And the only way you're gonna truly scrap it is if you truly want to. And if you truly want to, you're gonna put that energy into educating yourself and then applying the information.
Facts. How do you know your partner meets your vibrational
You'll feel it.
match? Is that how it happens?
You'll feel it. You'll feel it. You can't, it's the same thing. Okay, so how I answer questions, I have an objective mind. How I answer questions that I'm confused about, remember the truth corresponds through everything. Everything. And that's what's so beautiful about the truth. So say if you're trying to learn, this is how I learn. So say if I'm trying to learn chess, right? And I don't know how to play chess, but I know how to play basketball. A good coach for me is gonna, and he knows me, he's gonna understand that I know how to play basketball, and he can correlate chess to basketball, because everything corresponds to it. The truth corresponds to everything. So there's parts of basketball that you can correspond with chess. Or anything that you learn about. So with this question,
how do you know that your partner is a vibrational match?
So change the variable. Change the same question with a different situation. So how do you know your job's the right job for you? How do you know that shirt that you put on, the outfit that you put on is the right outfit that you feel that you like? How do you know that meal's good? You know what I'm saying? How do you know that you're happy? You know, you feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? You feel, you're like, yo, I look good. Yo, this shit tastes good. Yo, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? You feel that shit. So it's the same thing. It corresponds even with relationships. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. You'll know, bro. Like, you'll know once you meet the person. You'll just know. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. Like I said, as I always say, you can walk the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. The horse has to drink it itself. The universe can provide you everything you've been wanting, but you have to act upon it. It's going to give you the opportunity if you've been asking for it to present itself. It's going to come, but you must act upon it. And the way you're going to act upon it is as you're going to feel it. But you're also, I'm not going to say everything's balanced. You're also going to feel some doubt, but you got to really commit. You got to commit. Ooh, later I think I'm going to build on that picture I read last night. Because it's about committing and how we're so slave to convenience and slave to choice. We have so much options, and all these options takes away. So we have this exactly what we need right in front of us, but all these other options my eyes right here focus on this because this is everything I need, but this eye's going over here because there's so many options. But really, it's just it's distracting me from what I have right here. And then by the time this is taking my focus so much, she's starting to feel like, oh, you're not paying attention to me, and then I lose her, and then I don't realize what I got till it's gone. That's what we're doing, and it sucks. I've experienced that, and I'm not gonna do that shit this time. You know what I'm saying? We gotta realize what we got. But yeah, you'll feel it, yo. You'll feel it. You'll know when anything's right.
I know.
And if
I want to build there.
Go ahead.
On that.
You want a coconut? I want to open a coconut.
Okay.
You build.
Okay, thanks. So, I want to build on that now, because you are going to attract what you're vibrationally aligned to, because you are all that's in existence. Nah? So, with that being said, you're going to attract what you're vibrationally matched to. You know what I'm saying? So, how do you know that you are a vibrational match? Like you said, you're gonna feel that shit, but also you can also shift vibrations while in a relationship, which can like fluctuate, things, you know what I'm saying? So say you're growing and that person is stagnant, and you're vibrating higher, and that person is just stayed stuck into that vibration. Now you're not in vibrational alignment. You can just tell by, their thought frequencies. You can tell by how they think. You can tell by how they eat. You can tell by if it's aligning with you, or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's not aligning with your true essence and who you are, it's something to think about, And I just want to say that with that question.
I want to touch on this one more thing.
Spells and curses only exist if you claim or allow them to. Go ahead.
I want to touch on one more thing with that. I keep saying everything's fractal. That feeling is fractal. Oh, that's what I was saying. The feeling is fractal. So when you have that feeling of, oh, this is it, that feeling is going to be fractal. That feeling, that confirmation is going to be fractal. So you can, if you have that feeling, you can get it. You can, just as like I said, like you can look in different examples and the truth corresponds to everything. That feeling is a truth too. So that feeling is going to correspond to everything as well. So you can look in different outlets and get that confirmation. So like astrology, you know what I'm saying? Like you can look at your compatibility and see that.
Even though we're like Cancer and Capricorn, we're very compatible. Very compatible. There are
it's more than just sun signs too.
Yeah, it's the moon signs, it's the Mercury, it's the everything, all the planetary things, like because it conjuncts, there's oppositions and there's squares and there's trines, and the squares are the problems that we got to get through, the issues that we're gonna overcome and everything. And there's a whole lot of, just get into your astrology. I would just say look into compatibility charts, because astrology definitely aligns you with the perfect match. Like I feel like with what we're saying with that question, he's basically more leaning towards who is vibrationally right for you, and I'm leaning towards like asking the question if they're vibrationally aligned, because you're always going to get what you're vibrationally aligned to, because the attraction. But he's leaning towards how you know if they're vibrationally right
if it's right for you. And because the universe is going to give you everything you need when you need it, even if you don't think you need it.
Right.
So you gotta, but when it is right for you, you'll know, like, because it'll correspond through your astrology. If you get that done, it'll correspond through the feeling that you have. It'll correspond through signs. You'll ask and you'll receive. Like you'll just feel synchronicity. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everything corresponds, as above, so below, as below, so above. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know.
Facts.
You'll know.
How can I get my king to jump on board with me to manifest together? He seems more reality-based while I'm in the spiritual, universal type.
That's honestly, I don't know you guys, but just based off that, like that, like I know you're kind of seeing that as a red flag, but that's honestly kind of good in my eyes. Like you guys balance each other out, because if you're just both if you're both grounded and too practical, then you guys wouldn't make any spiritual moves. But if you're just both too spiritual, then you guys wouldn't be practical. You know what I'm saying? So you guys bring balance to each other. And that's kind of how we are. She's very spiritual. and I'm spiritual, but like not to her extent, you know what I'm saying? And so it brings balance, you know what I'm saying? And so how do you get him on board? You just do it, you know what I'm saying? You do it, and then if he's right for you, he'll reflect you.
Ooh, love that answer. That was a beautiful answer. Ooh, goodness gracious. All right, good job. Let's see. Oh, snap. Okay. Any more questions now?
Vegan.
So although I'm not vegan and I don't eat the way I plan or I live in nature, I see myself doing soon. I'm very strong-minded to heal myself with my mind. Well, to be honest with you, you would start now.
I was about to say, real nigga moment. If you were as strong as you saying, you wouldn't be saying.
Although I'm not doing this, I still da da da. But
Yeah.
if you
but
know,
let that. Don't let that.
Yeah, we're not debunking you.
Yeah, well, we're not trying to make you feel away. I'm just saying, let that motivate you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all you got is now. The only thing you can do, especially when and talking about the righteous path and doing and bettering yourself, is the only thing you can do. You can say, I'm gonna do this, and this, but the only thing you can do is the right thing right now, because that's all we got. You can say, ooh, this year I'm gonna make $1 million, right? To get to that point, you got to do the right thing to do that right now, because that's all you can do. So the right thing right now is just be real with yourself. Being real with yourself is okay. I want to. What'd you say? I want to.
live in the
like just better yourself, right? And so do the right thing right now. When you eat, do the right thing right now. When you eat the right thing.
Right. It's
when you have free time, do the right thing right now. You know you need some sunlight. You need to be grounded. Go do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you can do. And I'm telling you, at the time it made it seem like, oh, this is not a big deal. But I'm telling you, what you put in, you'll get back. Facts. Like.
It's like if you want your best life now, what's keeping you from having it now? Is actions is what place the manifestation forward. You know what I'm saying? Like emotion. Like there's the intention, yes. There's the decision, yes. But the action is what places the energy into that. So it's like.
You know what just came to my mind?
What?
She's been steady trying to. She's like, babe, I want to watch a movie because I haven't seen Avatar. And,
can we watch it today?
See, she's like the intention and the thing, but there's no action.
Right, yeah.
She's like, I want to watch a movie. We're watching a movie tonight. She said that every night for the past week. But now I'm like, all right, B, like if you really want, pull it up. Like let's go, pull it up. So, act, baby. I'll watch it whenever you want it, whenever you truly want it.
Yeah, that's true. Because if I really truly wanted to, I would do it now. Whoa.
Was it?
A lizard. I'm just making sure that everybody can see us because the last time someone said that, it was frozen. Oh, there you go. I want to check these. Kindred cells, coconut water.
Yep.
If he's right for you, he'll affect you. Yeah, that was powerful. That was powerful. But I'm pregnant. Wait, what?
She say it's like it's a downfall.
Yeah, the babies are never a downfall, man. They're like, they come with blessings and lessons. I had a baby with someone that didn't reflect me, and I kind of regret relations, but not our baby.
Okay, well, love that baby. If you can hear me, love that baby. Don't let the reflection that didn't reflect you, because it already happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like it's about the time to go, but I want to address this because this is really important. I want the connection to. Hopefully, the connection will come back.
Can you save it to? Is it saving to your phone?
Yeah,
so it's still. Okay.
And this will go on YouTube. So I guess I'm gonna just start talking about it. This is very vitally important because a lot of people are having. Of course, we come into contact with soulmates, and we get so attached sometimes to soulmates that's not in a vibrational alignment of our higher self, of our truest potential, of our on our path. and we get so attached to the point where we ignore the signs of we ignore all the signs of leaving that toxic or whatever karmatic situation to receive your next lesson, or receive the next thing, the next blessing for you to receive. And I had to do that to get you. But there's a lot of reflections out here that's now having children with, karmatic cycles, which create karmatic cycle children. That creates
stress.
Yeah, that creates, now they have a where you could have detached, but you chose not. You chose to resist that detachment. What resists will persist. Now, there's a lot of signs and everything, but you chose to resist that attachment. Now the universe has flip-flopped that situation to like, okay, now you already knew what you needed to do, but you didn't want to do it, so I'm gonna give you exactly what you're putting out. So you want that attachment. You want to hold on to it.
You want it that bad, here you go.
Exactly. So now you have a forever thing. Like now you have a child with that person. It's not forever, but you know what I'm saying? Like
a commitment. Because you were so committed. You were so committed towards that. So you was like, all right, bet. Like you wanted that bad. Well, this is what equals that yarning.
Right, and because you chose to ignore the very toxic fights, the very toxic situations, the very toxic behaviors that you guys bring out into each other, but you guys first you didn't know how to love yourself, so you didn't know how to get out of this situation. Secondly, you didn't.
That's a good point, B.
Right, and secondly, you right. And secondly, you wanted to just held on to something that you probably knew was the only thing that was love, but that wasn't love because you was taught how to love wrong. Like literally we think we know how to love, but sometimes we have to deprogram what love really is and reprogram. And now you have a child with this person, and now you're gonna have to see that person's face every day, or not even every day, have a commitment or a bond with this person because of this bond or contract that you made in the spiritual and physical realm, which resulted into a child. Now some people be like they regret having a child with some people, but you don't regret it, because if you really truly knew that you was not supposed to be with this person, you would have been gone. You know what I'm saying? You would have been like out of this. If you really truly love yourself, you would have been like, all right, I know what I want, and this isn't it. But I choose to detach. Like if you really truly love yourself, you would know how to detach, because you would want the best for yourself. And some people don't know what's the best for them. And some people don't know how to truly detach because they don't know how to truly love themselves.
Because again, everything's a reflection of you. That relationship's a reflection of yourself. So. And
now that child's gonna be a reflection of both of y'all. And the thing is, you want to have a child when you're coming to a state of consciousness where you, you change some things in your DNA that was toxic, basically. Like toxic habits or forms of being that passed down from your past lives came into this life, and now you're going through these cycles, you're going through these lessons so you can learn. It's good to have a child in a higher state of consciousness, because then we will have higher state conscious children. You know what I'm saying? We'll have children that's not carrying out our karmatic cycles that are toxic habits that we didn't know how to come to ourselves with first.
Right, and just by coming within me, the whole you get what you put in, you get back what you put in. Like just thinking about like sex. Like if you're fornicating, like actually fucking, and it's just like it's bad sex, it's just lust and whatever it may be, just not pure love. And you produce a child off that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's that's creating the being of lust. Like, and you know what's really good? People who actually have a true love for each other, and they create a being based on and that being is a product of true love.
You can tell.
Yes, and you can tell. You know what I'm saying? These beings are amazing. Energetically, they solely want to like heal and everything like that, but you can tell when a child is based on the energy. You can tell.
I think I was a lust baby.
I think I was okay. We probably all sometimes but I'm not gonna.
Most of that was a mistake. Like she would like not a mistake, but like that sounds fucked up. But like I was not planned.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
a fun.
I take that back. Not a mistake.
Okay.
I wasn't deliberated or debilitated.
But that doesn't make you, though. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I know. I was just saying, like, the intentions weren't to have a child, but I came, so it was planned because the universe was like,
Ooh, but that reflects how you think about children, though. If you really think about it.
true. I was just saying what she told me, but yeah, I guess I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we've talked about children,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still in the. I still have some programs that I need to break.
So I'm just gonna end this here because it's like it still says low connection there.
Yeah.
And I gotta go pee, and that's the time to go.
You're-
So, peace, love, and light, everybody. You already know who it is. You're gonna see Janae and your boy Mickey.
Nolly Molly, how are you?
Nolly and Molly, man. All right, y'all. We about to be out. So deuces. I love myself.
Love myself.